Hello there. Today we won't be doing an episode of Electric Sheep. I found something that I think is just a little more interesting. A debate broke out between two real life superheroes on Facebook, and I would like to make a record of this small interaction and give some of my 2 cents on it. ForeMan, Rlsh, posted, "What is your definition of a real life superhero?" And that post was a screenshot a screenshot of a conversation between him and Drake Talon. Drake Talon was asking him on one of his posts, "Do you actually do any RLSH stuff or just do AI pics?" ForeMan RLSH replied, "I do whatever I can to support the RLS community." Drake Talon, or he also said to Drake Talon, "And helping people and doing ordinary deeds every day isn't what being a hero is all about." Let me say that again. Sorry, I may have misread that. "And helping people and doing ordinary deeds every day isn't what being a hero is all about? All about? Question mark. Just surviving for those you care about isn't being a hero? Question mark. I think there is more to being a hero than putting on a suit, making videos of your actions each day, and also trying to get buffed up. I get up every day with the purpose of trying to show people in the world that there's good in it." And Drake Talon replied, "Nope, that's just being a normal person." Well, this will be the first time I feel I should say something. No, I don't think that's just being a normal person. Um, Not everybody helps everybody, and I don't think that everybody should have to help everybody, but it's wonderful when people do. But to say that that's just the thing that ordinary people do, I don't know. I don't think we would see helping as quite as extraordinary if everybody just did that all the time. I don't think we would have or need real life superheroes if people just all automatically helped each other. So at this point, I'm a little bit more on ForeMan RLSH's side. But I do like to see people in the community wanting to have very high standards for what real life superhero means to them. I have my own standards. That's why I prefer to say RLSH rather than real life superhero. I would never want to refer to myself as a hero or a superhero. But if I did something helpful enough or amazing enough that someone wanted to put one of those labels on me, that would be amazing. But when you put the label on yourself, that's when things get complicated. And that's kind of the issue I'm going to have with both these guys is I think they sort of put the label towards themselves. And I think it's something that needs to be placed upon you by someone else. That's when it has the most power. Sometimes you need to explain what you're doing. So you say RLSH. But I find you really don't have to. People know what a fucking cape looks like. And that's why I think the uniform is a very important part that other people don't necessarily put as high on the priorities of what RLSH means. But I will continue. That was just the post, but there are some comments. The debate is really in this comment section here. Oh, and there was one more comment by ForeMan RLSH when Drake Talon said, "Nope, that's just being a regular person." ForeMan said, "Then hey, I'd rather be normal than follow a system that is based on looks." And I do appreciate the truth to that he would rather be a normal person, but there is an insinuation there that he thinks that Drake Talon is thinking that something is based on looks. And I think that might be a resentment based a little bit on not liking the way he has a bodybuilding picture as his profile pic. And the same way I think Drake Talon is picking on him a little too hard because he's using AI art, and everybody has to fucking hate AI art nowadays, which is where I'm not a big fan of him. Because come on, man, give it a chance. What, you don't have to crap on it just for the sake of crapping on it, but that's another debate altogether. Drake Talon says to this post, LMAO, you're a joke and should not carry the title of RLSH. And then ForeMan RLSH says, whatever you say. But then to that comment, LMAO, you're a joke, Jason A. Brown, another RLSH, comments, that's where you're wrong. The only one who's a joke here is you, Drake. At least he's doing something with his life by continuing to help people despite not knowing what to do, by putting one foot in front of the other, by doing the best he can. That's more than being a hero. That's what it means to be human. And that's his greatest strength. And, well, that's just, I sucked at reading it, but that was a really nice comment. But I don't think that Drake Talon is a joke, but I don't think it's nice to call other people jokes. But fair enough, call someone a joke when he calls someone else a joke. It's easy to get defensive, especially when our whole thing is being defensive of other people, you know. Drake Talon then posted just the name of another RLSH on Facebook here, Mr. Leon Parker. And then Jason A. Brown commented again, not particularly in response to anything, but to the post overall. That's more than being a hero. That's being punk rock to the core. And if helping one person at a time every day doesn't make guys like us a hero, I don't know what does. I would rather be seen as an ordinary guy by all the haters and the exact definition of a real life hero every day by those who have always believed in me. You are who you choose to be. Your choices, your actions. That's what makes you who you are. I don't really have any. I'm leaning more towards that definition of a hero. But Mr. Drake Talon with higher standards, I think there's a lot of value in what you do too, because that's that S standing for super should mean something, you know. So if you feel you have to do something more than the average man to earn the S that makes you super, that's all right. Those standards are your contribution to the community. But again, Drake Talon replies to Jason A. Brown, that nice comment that Jason A. Brown made. Drake Talon says, being a good citizen is different from being a hero. And I will agree and I will disagree with that at the same time. I will disagree and say being a good citizen, whatever that means, sounds like the definition of a hero. Someone who does good in the world for their society. If everybody did that, I think we'd be a lot better off. But I will lean towards Drake Talon's side and saying, if you want to have standards that make you feel the definition of your position means something more than just being a good citizen, that that's your starting point and you want to do more than that, that's just it. I don't think it's different from being a hero. I think being super is an expansion on being what you think a hero is, or what the world needs a hero to be, or what symbol you need to be to inspire people to make a difference in the world. I think all those things are important. But Drake Talon is a high standard kind of guy. And I think he's got a lot of, from what I remember seeing his posts, he does a lot of patrols, and he's very reasonably, maybe the word proud is the wrong word, but maybe proud is the right way to put it. He's put in the work, you know, and so when he thinks somebody else isn't putting in the work, I think he's getting a little bit defensive there. But that's just what I'm seeing there. But I am running out of time, so I'm going to try to hurry this up a little bit. Oh boy, there's a lot more to do. We might not get all the way through this. We might just have to cut this into parts. Let's see here, because there's being a good citizen is different from being a hero had 11 replies to it. So ForeMan replied to Drake Talon, "You know, Talon, you're acting like you are so much better. Sometimes the average citizen is the best hero there is, because there is a lot of people who are citizens that don't do anything to help others. It's not about the looks, it's not about the skill set. In the end, it's always about helping your fellow man. That makes you a hero." And Drake Talon said, "LMFO, and I am better, not because I think of not not because I think, but because I put in countless hours of work every day. My judgment is, to be blunt, and for those wanting to do better. If you just going TK have a victim, I don't know, to be the victim is basically what he's saying, and have a weak mindset, you can't call yourself a hero." Very high standards. But he actually called himself better. I mean, there could be a Homelander comparison in there. I feel like that's a low blow for anybody calling themselves a hero, so I don't even want to make that comparison. But you called yourself better, you know. But you have a definition of a word. I'll leave that at that. He called himself better because ForeMan's starting to shoot back after this. But I think this will just be a part one. But I've run out of lunch hour, and this is when I'm recording this. So my name is Joseph Arthur Rizal. I want to thank you for watching this first part of this debate. This I will immediately continue this, unlike some of my other ongoing series where I don't always go immediately to part two. This will take up the majority of my time until I move on to something else, because I really want to read this in case somebody deletes it off Facebook. You never know. Things happen. My name is Joseph Arthur Rizal. I want to thank you for watching. I want to wish you all luck in the world, and I want you to remember that I love you. All right. Peace out.